Hi, Michelle Frost here from Mission Mojo. This is a super quick video to talk about evergreen content and what it is and why it's so important to have in your marketing strategy. Well, evergreen content, as the name may suggest, is content that you create, that you put out in the marketplace, that you'd be able to market over and over again in the future, because the essence of it doesn't change, because things like the technology that you talk about is most likely going to be there for a long term, and you're not going to get right down into the nitty-gritty about particular technology and how it works, because those things will change. But the actual act of marketing is actually not going to change very much for some time. So here I am at my blog at Mission Mojo, and I just wanted to show you a couple of examples. So these are actually tutorials for MailChimp. Now MailChimp is a piece of software that you can use that will help you send out different emails. But this is quite an in-depth, although it's basic, it's quite an in-depth video tutorial series. And yes, it'll be kind of evergreen, maybe for a few months, maybe 6 months, maybe a little bit longer. But I would say in another year or so, MailChimp probably will have changed exactly how they do everything. And that is a problem with some of the things I really enjoy doing, which is tutorials, showing videos on how to use particular software. What happens is that those people change their software on a semi-regular basis, so it doesn't make it truly evergreen. However, if you come down here, this next blog post here that I've done, which is what are digital products and service and why I really love them. Now this is just an article about my thoughts about digital products and services, and the thing is that's actually going to be around for a long time, digital products and services, in my opinion. And I don't go into any detail about things that would change. Everything there is relatively evergreen. So that's an example of an evergreen product. Now, interestingly, if you flick over here, I thought I'd look for a couple of images on evergreen content, because that's what we're talking about, evergreen content that lives on the web, and particularly in your blog or you write articles and things like that. Look at all these images. There are so many people now on the web talking about evergreen content. So if you want any more in-depth information about how to create it, what the sort of parameters you want to look at are, go and have a look over at some of the blogs that are related to these images, because these images have mostly been created for people who are writing blogs and articles to teach you how to create evergreen content, believe it or not. So it is obviously a big thing. Why do you want it in your business? Well, because you can then do that work, you can create that blog post or that article, and it will then give you marketing collateral, if you like, all through the future for as long as you like. You can keep marketing it. So most people will go and write a blog post, they'll shoot it out to Facebook or to Twitter and LinkedIn and Pinterest or wherever, and that's it. They go away and then they start again. They write another blog post and then they do it all again. And they get ground down because it's hard work to continue to write blog posts over and over again. It is hard work. But if you could come up with a strategy where you write a whole bunch of evergreen content, that you consistently do that twice a month, so once every 2 weeks, you write an evergreen piece of content, an evergreen blog post that can be marketed over and over again, and you do that for 3 months. Well, guess what? You now have a 3 months lot of content that you can go, when you get to the end of the 3 months, you can reshare that to all of your social medias, because I assume like me, that nothing stays for very long in social media. And depending on the platform you're looking at, you might be talking about seconds or minutes, let alone, very rarely does it even stay for a day that people will see it. So if you're sharing something that you shared 3 months ago, I promise you there are not going to be a lot of people putting their hand up, pointing at you, going, hey, that was something that you shared 3 months ago. So if you put into your marketing strategy some kind of evergreen strategy, along with your spontaneous content that you provide, which is, looking out my window today, I can see a beautiful ocean and gee, the weather's great and blah, 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 and this is what I'm doing, and I'm sitting down, I'm doing something with the coffee, or maybe it's something to do seasonally. So you can do a whole lot of other content that goes sprinkled in your marketing, but you've got this base foundation of evergreen content that continues to give to you over and over again, which of course you can add to as well, but to try and start thinking about creating at least some pieces of evergreen content on a regular basis for your business. So I hope that's helped. If you have any questions about evergreen content, come over to the Mission Mojo Facebook group and ask away, because it is one of my favorite topics. I love evergreen content. And definitely when you're thinking about creating your blog post for the Mission Mojo Content Challenge, then guess what? I think you should go for an evergreen content idea, something that will give to you over and over again. You can do some kind of rinse and repeat, and guess what? It'll keep giving you traffic into the future, especially when we add these extra repurposed pieces of content to the end of it. All right, hope that's helped. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening.